Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I know this has been a long day. Today, I offer an amendment to H.R. 4420, the Preparedness and Response Authorization Act. My amendment would strike the funding level increase to public health agencies and instead authorize the same amount that was authorized last year. As I said earlier, this Congress, we're trying to, and with the debt ceiling deal, Fiscal Responsibility Act, trying to return our spending levels back to at least some sort of sense of normality without plussing things up when we're $32 trillion in debt and growing every day. We're finally on the other side of the COVID-19 pandemic. Even the other side has agreed to this, a pandemic in which our public health agencies really failed the American people with the draconian policies like forced masking and experimental vaccines and, as we're now seeing, politicized science. The Energy and Commerce Committee has already taken great strides during the 118th Congress to investigate the federal response to COVID-19 and look at ways in which our public health agencies do not fail the American people in the future. Unfortunately, this bill offers significant increases to the very agencies that failed in the first place. I don't believe that giving them more money, more of our taxpayer dollars, will fix this issue. Rewarding bad behavior with more money will not only make issues that we're trying to fix worse. Without serious comprehensive reform, I believe we should keep the funding levels the same for these agencies as we on this committee continue to address this issue. I talked earlier about guardrails and accountability and oversight and looking back and seeing how the almost over $4 trillion we spent during the COVID response were spent. Mr. Chairman, the House is in order.
The committee will come to order. The gentleman is recognized.
Without serious comprehensive reform, I believe we should keep the funding levels the same for these agencies. It's important now more than ever that we hold these agencies accountable to their pandemic response so that we don't experience a tragedy like COVID-19 again. We've researched the origins of COVID-19. We've researched and investigated the response to COVID-19. We've had leaders of CDC and NIH in front of this committee, oversight. Also, I realize that the reason these levels are where they are in this bill is because the appropriators have pushed the spending levels to this point. That's also bad behavior. They should have stuck to the authorized levels. We as the authorizers are not beholden to what our big spending colleagues have done. I'm a fiscal conservative. I make no bones about that. I'm concerned about our nation's debt. I'm concerned about where we source our pharmaceuticals. I'm concerned about domestic supply chains and how our nation has set us up for problems if another pandemic happens, for access to drugs and other critical things that we need, such as PPE that we've talked about. So let's hold the line on federal spending by returning these levels back to the prior levels. And with that, I yield back.